Superheroes have captivated many people throughout the ages. Whether they're in a new movie or a good old fashioned comic book, people from many different generations have come to enjoy superheroes. However, there are a few superheroes that have stood the test of time. They are the superheroes that everyone wishes that they could be like. They are the superheroes that people look up to when times get rough. And in my opinion, no one represents this better than the one and only Superman. Hello everyone, Oscar here. In this video, I'm going to power scale Superman from DC Comics. I'll go over his powers, abilities, and feats to find out how strong he truly is. And finally, for this analysis, Rebirth Superman will be used since he's the strongest and most recent version according to Versus Battle Wiki. But don't worry, I won't be using any of their scaling for this video. So without further ado, let's get to the good stuff. First, let's talk about Superman's powers and abilities. Kick back your chair and relax, because there's more than you might think. The best way to introduce you to Superman's most basic powers is that he's a flying brick. He's fast, strong, durable, and of course, he can fly. Now, where have I seen that before? In addition, he has heat vision, X-ray vision, and a powerful breath that can freeze his enemies. However, describing Superman as a flying brick is barely scratching the surface of his powers. Clark can also absorb solar energy, which he can release in a powerful burst or use it to envelop his body in a shell of energy, although after using either of these, he will need to recharge. On top of that, he can absorb other types of radiation, create shockwaves, travel through time, accelerate his molecules to become intangible, create air vortexes, and see the whole electromagnetic spectrum. This is where Superman's X-ray vision comes from, since X-rays can pass through objects that are opaque to us because we can only see visible light. However, that's still not even all. He can see atoms or objects miles away, emit radiation, think extra fast, and is immune to toxins, diseases, and can resist some forms of energy. For his skills, he has a genius-level intellect and is a master at hand-to-hand combat, which includes boxing, jujutsu, and wrestling. Superman has also mastered intimidation, investigation, journalism, leadership, stick fighting, and swordsmanship. And for the cherry on top, he can speak Mandarin and Russian. Now, with that out of the way, we can finally talk about Superman's feats. Rebirth Superman has numerous strength feats, most of which barely scratch the surface of Superman's true power. I won't bore you with all of Superman's street-level feats, but if you want to see them, I have a link to them in the description. Superman's best feat in the Rebirth era is when he knocks out the World Forger and cracks the sixth dimension. The punch makes a sizable crater on Earth, but it's completely irrelevant compared to what he did to the sixth dimension. Now, you may assume that the sixth dimension is quite literally a realm with six spatio-temporal dimensions because of its name, similar to how our universe has three spatial dimensions. If this were the case, the sixth dimension would be a complex multiversal construct, and this would make Superman complex multiversal as well. However, it's not as simple as that. The sixth dimension is described as a plane of existence, not as a realm with six spatio-temporal dimensions. The sixth dimension is stated to be the highest plane of existence within the entire multiverse, meaning that it scales above everything below it, like the Speed Force Wall and the Sphere of the Gods. There are multiple statements of realms with infinite dimensions, which would be high hyperversal constructs, within the DC multiverse, and since the sixth dimension transcends these realms, this would make the sixth dimension an outerversal construct. This is also supported by the fact that beings from these lesser realms cannot enter or even perceive the sixth dimension, which is almost word for word what the definition for the outerversal tier is. And since Superman was strong enough to crack the sixth dimension, this would give him outerversal strength as well. This feat would also scale to Superman's durability since it was a physical attack, and therefore Newton's third law can be applied to it. This is further supported by Superman's fight with Hal Jordan, who is around the same level of power, but I don't want to get too deep into his scaling because, well, this video isn't about him. So finally, let's get to Superman's speed feats. Again, Superman has a lot of feats that range from a bit over the speed of sound to potential FDL scaling, but again, none of these feats display Superman's true speed. One of Superman's best speed feats is him using the cosmic treadmill. Now, in case you don't know what the cosmic treadmill is, it allows its user to travel in time, but it can't be used if you're not fast enough to activate it. For example, even if you had MFTL speed, you wouldn't be able to use the cosmic treadmill because your speed is still bound by time. I mean, it's literally in the speed equation. So to use the cosmic treadmill, you need to have at least immeasurable speed. And since Superman was able to use the cosmic treadmill and travel in time, this would give him immeasurable speed. So, to summarize what I've said, Superman has outerversal strength from cracking the sixth dimension and immeasurable speed from using the cosmic treadmill. And Versus Battle Wiki moderators, if you're watching this video, please update Superman's page. It's wrong, it's a ridiculous lowball, and honestly, it's a bit disrespectful to debatably the most popular comic book character of all time. And that's all for today's video. Thank you sincerely for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and if there's another character you want me to power scale, just type their name in the comments below. This is Oscar, signing out and wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.